start this project, I need to level out the back of the shutter, and right now there's this little ridge that I want to make even. These little thin tongue depressors should do the trick so that it's all level. While that shutter glue is drying, I want to go ahead and start painting these 4 vintage spindles I had. I want to give the pieces I just glued on a quick sanding. It's time to paint the shutter now. With the shutter completely painted, I'm ready to attach the spindles to it.
This is a wooden bread box. I picked up 2 of these on Amazon. I'm gonna paint the door a black. I'm also gonna paint the handle on the front of the bread box a gold. I created some little legs. These are small pieces of wood that I cut into about 2-inch blocks, and I'm just painting them with that same black craft paint. To assemble this, I'm going to stand both bread boxes on their sides and push the bottoms together. I am using a wood glue, and I'm gonna hold them together with clamps. I'm going to attach the legs with wood glue as well.
You know all those lonely donated lampshades? Pick up a matching pair. Pick up a thrifted belt. Run a bead of clear glue around the perimeter. Take the other lampshade, place it on top of the other lampshade, take some jute twine and tie the inner hardware of the 2 lamps together. Give the connected shades a little shake to make sure they are securely connected. Take the belt and buckle it around the skinny center of the 2 lampshades. Add a little glue to the loose end of the belt and secure it to the rest of the belt. Find a thin wood circle disc. Paint the edge with some acrylic paint. And peel and stick wallpaper is perfect for this project.
We're going to head down to our local nursery and pick up some paver edges. Whatever side you choose though, make sure they both match when you're putting them together. Next, we got to make sure we adhere them with some good liquid nails. You want to put a liberal amount on both sides. Don't go, the more you put, the better, because pavers are very rough and that glue is going to fill the inside. Once we do it, we're going to turn it up on its edge and we're going to stick 2 of the pavers together, making sure they match. Once you get those 2 together and you let it dry a couple hours, you can lay it flat. We're then going to grab our 3rd paver and we're going to put another bead of glue on top. You're going to put it right down the middle of the 2 pavers that you did. So once you get that on and let that dry, turn those 3 over again. Make sure you're giving a couple hours so it holds together. And we're going to again put some glue on the edge of that paver and put it in place. Now we got the top of our project right here. And I'm going to run a bead of glue down each edge on top. And then I'm going to take my top paver, put it on top right there. Let's head over to Dollar Tree and we're going to grab a paper towel holder. Let's all run down to the hardware store and grab us a wood round. Gotta sand the edges. Got to condition the wood. Let it dry about 30 minutes to an hour. Once it dries, it's time to put on some stain. We're going to get 3 of those paper towel holders and we're going to set them in place. What we need to do is paint them. Once we get it all painted, let it dry. Now we got to curve the edges a little bit and bend them. Don't bend them too far, just get them a little 20 degrees and we're going to do all 3 at the same angle. Now we're going to put them in place on the bottom of our wood round. And I'm going to take these little electric hooks that I got out of the hardware store and I'm going to put 4 all the way around each side of these circles here. And once I got them marked, I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill. I'm going to go ahead and put little tiny screws in and hold these clips in place. And I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue and then I'm going to take some twine. I'm going to set it there and then I'm going to start wrapping it all the way around.
I'm laying down 6 21-inch hula hoops on some butcher block paper. Each hoop is getting spray painted in black. I applied several coats to ensure all areas were well covered. I'm going to join 4 hoops to the first hoop, attaching evenly on all 4 sides. I'm attaching the first hoop loosely with a black zip tie. 3 more hula hoops are being attached to the first hula hoop, creating an even pattern of 5. A 6th hula hoop is being placed on top of an exterior hula hoop and attached with a zip tie on its left side only. Each hula hoop on each side is being positioned vertically, then attached to the top hoop to create a cube shape. I'm attaching some lightweight twine to one side of the top hula hoop with double knots. I'm stringing the twine across the top hula hoop in random places to create a spiderweb effect. Keeping the twine as tight as possible is the key. Now I'm positioning the wood round onto the twine.
I'm gonna go right down the center and just cut them in half so that I have that flat edge to go flush against the board.
Space the noodles out with a little bit of spacing in between and then attach them also with the staple gun for some added stability. I worked in sections of about 4 at a time, sprayed a little bit of spray adhesive on, and then just kind of used my hands to firmly work the leather into the channels. I trimmed the edge at the corner and then just tucked it over and secured it tightly with a little little bit of spray adhesive and then also more of the staples. Once that corner was secure, I just worked my way down.
Ran down to the dollar store and picked up some pool noodles. I cut them in half lengthwise. I made sure to cut the pool noodles to the length of the bench seat, and I secured it in place using a staple gun. At this point, I also added some fabric. I chose outdoor fabric because I knew that my bench was going outdoors. I secured this in place as closely as I could to the bottom of the pool noodle, put the fabric over that piece, and secured that piece again. And I continued this pattern of noodle fabric so that I could create tufted channels, and the fabric would look like it goes all the way down in between the different pool noodle pieces. When I got to the end of the bench, I again took that last piece of pool noodle, wrapped it around the back edge of the wood, and secured it in place. Now I needed to add the legs. I had ordered these legs off of Amazon. All I had to do was secure them in place using the screws that came in the box.
What I did was I laid out some cardboard, spray painted it a couple of times to make both boards the exact same length. You're gonna take your first hula hoop that's already painted, and you're gonna set it on top of the boards. Then what we're gonna do is drill through all four corners here. You're gonna put one of your hooks in with it. Make sure it's facing up and you'll screw it through it. We're gonna do the same thing over here. Now what we're gonna do is turn it around and do the other side. We're gonna take a little bit of dab of glue right next to the screw, take the rope and just gently wrap it around the loop.
Get a styrofoam cooler. I found mine at Walmart. Take a piece of cardboard, trace with a Sharpie, and cut with an X-Acto blade to make it slightly smaller than the lid of the cooler. Take a piece of upholstery foam and trace with a Sharpie and cut with an X-Acto blade. Hot glue the upholstery foam to the top of the lid with the cardboard on top of that. Take a blanket, rug, or textile of your choice and cut it to size to the top of the lid. Fold and hot glue to the lid and trim the excess. Use an old sheet, cut to size, and wrap around the cooler base. Hot glue all the way around the base of the cooler and trim off the excess. Cut the remainder of the blanket, fold over and hot glue the edges to clean them up. Wrap the blanket pieces around the base with hot glue. Add tassels from the blanket around the top of the base of the cooler to give it a boho look.
Today's project starts with a pool noodle. We're going to take a piece of duct tape and use that to hold it in place. Once we got our three rings together, we're going to stack them up. Once I get that, I'm going to cut some more pool noodles and they're going to stack inside. We need them to be level with the top. Start on the outside and work your way to the end. Now you're going to start on one end and go ahead and slice your tape and put it on the bottom. Go across the three pool noodles, across the top, down the bottom. We're actually going to need to cover the whole thing in duct tape because we're going to need to apply some hot glue to it. And then right in the middle, I'm going to put a first dab of hot glue. I'm going to take this rope right here, this cotton rope, and go ahead and put it on there.